The friend who stayed. My name is Ethan, and this is a story I carry in my heart every day. It is a story about friendship, about feeling lost, and about how one person's kindness can bring light into a dark time. There was a period in my life when everything felt heavy. I woke up each morning with a feeling I could not explain. I felt tired even after sleeping. I felt quiet inside, as if something was missing. At that time, I often wondered why I felt this way. My life looked normal from the outside. I went to school, talked to people, and did my daily tasks. But inside, I felt alone. The person who helped me during that time was my friend Noah. Noah and I first met when we were 13 years old. We were in the same class. On the first day of school, I noticed him sitting quietly near the window. He was reading a book. Our teacher asked us to work in pairs, and Noah became my partner. At first, we spoke only about the assignment, but I quickly saw that he was kind and patient. He listened carefully when I spoke, and he never laughed at my mistakes. After class, we began to talk more. We discovered that we both liked simple things, like walking in the park and listening to music. Soon, we became close friends. During those years, we shared many small moments. We studied together, laughed at jokes, and supported each other during exams. Noah had a calm way of speaking. When I felt nervous, he would say, "Take a deep breath. Everything will be okay." His words always helped me feel steady. After finishing school, we went to different universities. We promised to stay in touch. At first, we talked often, but as time passed, life became busy. I focused on my studies, and Noah focused on his. University life was more difficult than I expected. Classes were challenging, and I felt pressure to do well. Slowly, I began to feel tired and worried. I stopped going out with friends. I spent more time alone in my room. Sometimes I looked at my books but could not focus. I felt disconnected from everything. One evening, Noah called me unexpectedly. He said, "Hi, I was thinking about you. How are you?" I paused before answering. I wanted to say I was fine, but my voice sounded uncertain. Noah noticed and said softly, "You don't sound like yourself." For a moment, I stayed silent. Then I told him how I had been feeling. I spoke slowly, explaining that I felt lost and unsure. Noah did not interrupt. He listened patiently. When I finished, he said, "Thank you for telling me. You are not alone." Those simple words brought comfort. From that day, Noah made a habit of checking on me. He sent messages like, "How is your day?" or "I'm here if you want to talk." Sometimes we talked late into the night. One weekend, Noah took a long train ride to visit me. When I saw him at the station, I felt relief. We walked through the city together. We did not always talk. Sometimes we simply walked in silence. That silence felt safe. Noah encouraged me to take small steps. He suggested going outside each day, even for a short walk. He said, "Small steps are still steps." I began to follow his advice. Some days were easier, other days were still heavy. But Noah remained patient. One afternoon, we sat on a bench near a river. The water moved slowly, and the air felt calm. Noah said, "Friendship means staying, even when things are quiet." I realized how important his presence was. Weeks turned into months. With Noah's support, I started to reconnect with life. I attended classes more regularly. I began to smile again. There were still moments of doubt. But I did not feel alone anymore. One evening, I told Noah, "Your friendship is helping me more than you know." He smiled and said, "That is what friends do." As time passed, I grew stronger. I learned to accept my feelings and move forward. Noah continued to be a steady presence. He celebrated my small successes and listened during difficult days. After graduating, our lives changed again. We found jobs and new responsibilities. But our friendship remained strong. Sometimes we meet for coffee and talk about life. Sometimes we simply sit together and enjoy the moment. Looking back, I understand that Noah did not fix everything. Instead, he walked beside me while I found my way. He showed me that kindness and patience can bring light into dark places. Now, when I see someone struggling, I remember what Noah did for me. I try to listen, to be present, and to offer support. Because I know that one caring friend can make a difference. Life is not always easy. There are times when we feel uncertain. But friendship reminds us that we are not alone. This is the story of the friend who stayed. The friend who brought quiet light into my life when I needed it most.